I want to bring up something. I just found out while I was scrolling on YouTube that 4 days ago, back in October 4th, there was a recent episode of Collider's Ladies Night, which is Collider's other side channel with, where Perry does interviews with for certain female stars and such. And there's an interview that she's doing with Rosa Salazar. Now, have you seen like the movies like Battle Angel Alita and Brand New Cherry Flavor? You should know who Rosa Salazar is. I know her from when she was doing College Humor, which is now Dropout. That's how I know about her, if anything. But at one point in the interview, she's bringing up a discussion about Battle Angel Alita. And I want you to pay very attention to what she's saying in that part of the interview, just this early part.
So you brought up Alita, so I'll just go there next.
I'm always bringing up Alita.
I mean, good on you. You should be very proud of that movie. And listen. I wish that franchise got to continue on and on.
It still might.
I'll take that. I mean, he's got the set there.
He's got the set.
I'll follow
We'll
up.
have Cameron just as soon as this next Avatar.
I'll follow up on that point.
If we have, again, I just need to remind everybody, if we have to endure another fucking Avatar just to get this Battle Angel Alita sequel off the ground, so be it. Not going to go see it, but understand, we can't let that movie die. We can't let that movie. It is a rarity that an adaptation of an anime done right by Hollywood is rare. And hate or love it, there are only few others that have been out since that movie that have done decent, but not as good as Battle Angel Alita has. And we need to make sure that it doesn't die. We need to make sure. The last film adaptation that has been that is now officially dead in the water of anime, the last one that I remember was the Akira adaptation. At one point, Taika Waititi was involved in it. Tobey Maguire was involved with it. Warner Brothers wanted to pitch it. It's officially dead. Officially now dead. It wasn't going to be dead when Taika had it, but now it's officially dead from what I. And obviously, to some extent, it actually makes sense because there's no way they were going to have to pull that movie off with how much of the manga and the anime's detail that it's going to go. I've said this many times before. Hollywood needs to go with the films. If they're going to do adaptations of anime, even as iconic as they are, they need to go with the ones that have Western influence. Those are the best. The ones that have no Asian reference in whatsoever. If the moment there's an Asian reference in film adaptation of it, it's not going to work. Which is why when you do an adaptation like that, you should use Asian cast. Ghost in the Shell is a perfect example of that. Even me buying the movie because I bought it because of the fact of film and collection, that movie is a perfect example of doing it. Now, I'm not going to lie. Also, at some point of it, the casting and sometimes story-wise is the error of it too, like Cowboy Bebop. But then there are places like shows like One Piece that have fulfilled absolutely well, regardless of the probably problematic 2% who still don't like how it's done in the adaptation. The point being is the situation of Alita was the forefront of doing that, because at one point, from films like Dragon Ball Evolution that exist, adaptations for anime was not done in the respectful way. I know Kita was another one that didn't get off the ground and it ended up being indie. And then, of course, we all, started rectifying the mistake of shitting on Speed Racer by the Wachowskis and then realizing, what have we done? We made a mistake. That actually was not a bad fucking movie. Or there's some people who still hate that movie, but probably because of Wachowskis taking it for what. But I personally feel like we can't let that movie die. We cannot let Battle Angel Alita die. I see so much potential in that movie franchise that we can't let it die. With how much that it was put into that film, especially with how they did of it, with everything else, I refuse to see that movie die. I just refuse to let that happen. And I'm hoping that we're just waiting until after Cameron's when it comes to the movie of it. But at the same time, Cameron had to pass the film to Robert Rodriguez for this movie to get off. So if it means we have to do the same thing with the sequel, so be it. But if not Robert, who? That's what we should look at. We should look at to see if James is not going to direct this one, since he wasn't able to direct the second one, the first one, the original movie. And if there is a sequel and he can't direct that one, and Robert's not available, what are we going to do with that sequel? But that sequel's got to come. It's got to come. Whether Cameron directs it himself, gets Robert to come back to direct it, or he gets somebody else to direct it, it has to come. We need that second movie. That film was too damn good for how brilliant they were able to pull that everything off in that movie, and with the lack of a few things. And regardless of how people felt about Rosa's look in the performance in that movie, it was still entertaining for what it is. The adaptation got more people involved of interest and curiosity of the manga source from where it came from. My hope was even at one point they were going to re-release, whoever owns the rights to the anime, to re-release it. Because I have never owned Battle Angel Alita, and it's one of the many that I need to buy. But again, we can't let that movie die. We can't let that franchise die. And I'm hoping that Rosa saying that in that interview means there's still a line, a silver lining that still has a chance. But I just refuse to see that die. I can't.